Your fear of success is slowly ruining your life. Everybody has already heard about fear of failure, which is basically not going after some things, not doing things that you know will get you ahead in life because you're afraid to fail. Well, there are a lot of reasons why people are afraid to fail. One of the main ones is because they associate the result with their self-worth, which is completely different. If you're a beginner at something, it's normal that you will fail because you're not a master at it. And it's really normal in human psychology to want to be good at everything and to want to be a master at things that you barely know about, which is why I believe that it's important to try different things, not to be only a specialist at this one thing and not try anything else. It's really important to try to be good at various things and fail, because that actually increases your self-confidence. But today we're going to talk about the fear of success, which is different from the fear of failure, but is not actually spoken enough about because it's the main thing that blocks you from going to your current reality, to your desired reality. So fear of success is basically fearing what you always wanted, which is in itself very contradictory, because why would you fear what you actually want? Well, it's actually very common, because that's why a lot of people actually don't go after their dreams. It's because they're just afraid of actually getting it, because there's just a lot of responsibility, a lot of accountability, because it's not just the perfect dream, there's also all the responsibility that comes with it, and a lot of people are not ready to deal with all that responsibility. So we just find so many excuses for it, and a lot of reasons why we would be afraid to get that thing. Let's say it's to be rich by getting this business or doing this job that you always wanted, but everybody around you disagrees with it and thinks that you shouldn't do it because it's just really unconventional, and you shouldn't do it because your image is gonna be wrong and just bad. You should do the regular path. And then you listen to them because they're your loved ones, they're people you care about, maybe they're your parents or people older than you, so you just tend to believe them because, you know, they have a job, so they must be right. Well, this is the wrong thinking, because I strongly believe you should only take advice from people who are where you want to be. Do not take financial advice from people who are broke. Why would you take financial advice from someone who has no money if you want a lot of money? That doesn't make sense. So sure, you can care a lot about your loved ones, but if they do not have the level of wealth you want, if they do not have the lifestyle you want, if they do not have the relationships you want, do not take their advice in any of those areas, because they're not gonna give you the right advice for you. So this is one of the main reasons people are afraid to get there. But it's also because the gap is just so overwhelming, and all this self-doubt comes in, and you just think, well, I'll never make it because there's just so much to do, and all these people have done it, but it's just so hard, and I don't have time, and all these excuses that you get from overthinking, once again, because it all comes from overthinking. The doubt leaves when you take action, which is why I came up with this method. It's called the ARA method. Basically, it's composed of 3 steps that are super important, especially the last one. I will come to it in a minute. So basically, this method is identify, reflect, and act. So the first one is identify. You need to identify what is keeping you stuck. So what are the behaviors that you take in order to not do what you're supposed to do? So let's say you have this idea and you say, I really should be doing this, I should be studying for that test so that I can get my degree because this is exactly what I want. or I should be doing this research and reading that book in order to start this business because this is what I want, whatever it is you want to do. But instead of doing that, you scroll on social media, go do something else, watch a movie, go see your friends, basically anything else other than what you were supposed to do, because the thought of doing that gets you too close to the reality, but also too far. Because by taking the step, you get closer, but your brain thinks, yes, but there's all these other steps that I have to go through as well is just like so long. So I'll just think about something else because I'm too overwhelmed. But that's not how you should think. You should not think in base of how overwhelmed you are, because that's literally gonna keep you stuck. But do not think about the whole picture. Think about a few steps. That's why you should always plan. That comes to the second point, which is reflecting. You absolutely need to plan. So that comes in between where you are, where you want to be. You need to plan the path, because if you don't plan, then you're just swimming around hoping to find what you really want. Well, it's not very likely to happen. So in order to close this gap, you need to take small steps that will get you to that point. So these are just small habits, small behaviors, networking with like-minded people who will push you up rather than down or keep you stuck. Just try to diversify who you hang out with, try to change your environment, change your mindset, read more books about what you're interested in. All those little steps will get you closer. So reflect on that, write it down, all the small things that you can do to get to that point. And small things, remember that, small little steps, because otherwise you'll be overwhelmed. And finally, the last step is act. It's as simple as that. Just do it. It's really like the most important part, because the first 2 points make no sense if you're not gonna act on it. Literally useless if you're not gonna take into action everything you wrote down for the first 2 steps and put it into action. It just like small things, literally just going outside, going to an event, even if it's maybe go with someone. If you feel a little overwhelmed, just watch a YouTube video. That's not crazy. A video about something like this video, for example. But afterwards, take some notes and take all the things that apply to you, and then translate them into something that you can implement in your life. Because watching this without doing anything afterwards is just pointless. It's just gonna give you a little motivational boost, and then you're not gonna do anything about it. So it'll just stay in the back of your mind, and you'll just forget about it and keep doing your life the way you always have. But I don't think that's why you watch this video. So take small steps and actually implement them. I will do another video soon about manifestations that obviously links to this, because my goal is really to help you grow into the best version of yourself and close this gap between where you are and where you want to be, because it can be really overwhelming. But I'm always going to be very, very honest, because it's not always perfect. It's not always easy, and when you get to it, it's actually a lot harder than you might have thought. So be compassionate with yourself. Always be compassionate. Realize that it's hard, and be fine with it. Don't beat yourself up for making mistakes. Don't beat yourself up for procrastinating one day. It's not a big deal. Just keep moving. Stay in motion, because it's the most important thing. If you get into a routine that you do not like, a routine that is not yours, a routine that doesn't make you feel good, and your body and your brain are going to adapt no matter what. Even if it's bad for you, even if you don't really like it, your brain is going to adapt. So don't let it. Literally, do not let your brain and body adapt to an environment that is not what you want. because then it's so much harder to get out of it. It's not impossible, but it's a lot harder. So let's say you can't get out of this environment right now, like you really can't. There's just so many things that are keeping you from it, and it's just not the right timeline. It's okay. Just make sure your mind stays awake and doesn't fall asleep in this environment, and just keep going with the flow. Never let yourself go with the flow. Be intentional about those steps you take. So that's it for this video about fear of success. I hope you enjoy. I hope it helps you. I hope that you will take some steps to becoming the best version of yourself through this video. Let me know in the comments if there are some themes or particular videos that you would like me to make, or some particular subjects you want me to talk about, and I will see you in the next video.